What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are back here at San Lemo again today, working on Danny Teco's car. So you guys can see, this is a two-seater GP105. I've showed you guys this car in the past, but crew came in this morning and got the engine and transmission out, and we need to get the fuel pump and stuff out of the way, but transmission's out here, motor's out here, and this big sequential S4 is going to go in its place. It's going to be a heck of a fit, but we'll get her squeezed in there and get the car paint matched up. Motor should be ready for this anytime. I'm going to take the cylinder heads off of this motor, and they're going to go off to the machine shop, and then they'll go on the new short block. So this car, once this trans goes in, we're converting it to 934s. So we got to change the stubs. It's going to have new axles, and then we're going to send the intake manifold off and get it powder coated as well. In the meantime, let's see what's going on over here. I know I showed you guys Joe's truck the other day, but he finished it out back here and it looks killer. So he boxed in the whole bed with aluminum, finished off those upper shock mounts, which look insane. Both sides good. He added a 1-inch bar all the way through to strengthen that up. Let me get in there. Added that bar to strengthen those shock mounts. Got the bedside frame all done. Got the aluminum all formed in. And then the next new project on the chopping block is this San Lemo Monster Cruiser. Joe built this car, I don't know, a good probably 5 years ago. And
8 years.
8 years.
Hiding.
8 years ago. Yeah, it's been in hiding for about 8 years. So this is the next one up. We're going to make some modifications to the chassis, cut some of these high bars out, and then we're going to redo the back, right?
Yeah, it looks like San Lemo.
So it'll look like a traditional San Lemo Monster Cruiser. And
4D, 440 LSX, 850 horse with nitrous.
woo! This would be a good one. So yeah, I'm just going to cut some of these upper bars out. I think these were done this way for a certain customer, and then they never ended up finishing it out, but it's already tabbed for the hood and the dash. So this one will go pretty quick, and we'll get it off the chemical strip. What's that?
It'll go fast.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It'll go. This one will go quick.
Almost all of it's there.
Yeah, arms were already done. I mean, it was a complete chassis for somebody, and for somebody else. It's set up for swinger pedals, which is cool. You gonna keep the swinger pedals?
I think so.
Cool. Battery mount up here. So yeah, it's a beautiful car. Roof's already X-braced. I mean, this is a real deal, San Lemo Monster Cruiser. This is kind of what I'm trying to model my car after. All right, guys, so we're back in the garage this morning, trying to make some changes on the Bug. So the issue with this car right now, runs and drives good. It's really fast. The problem is that it runs on C16. I don't know if I mentioned that in the past, but this is a straight up race gas motor. So we're going to switch this thing to E85. It's a lot cheaper and a lot more accessible for me, but even out here in Arizona, it's a lot more accessible. So we went ahead and pulled off the downpipe. We're going to run it over to the shop and TIG weld in a O2 bung so I can put this innovative wideband setup I've got in it. And we'll put it back on, and then we'll get that gauge installed. So you guys stick around. We're going to jump over to the shop and TIG weld this thing in.
So how long?
All right, we're back. So as you saw from the clip there, we got the O2 bung TIG welded in. Joe burned that in for me real quick. And I just have a plug in there just to kind of hold it. So we're going to go ahead and get the downpipe welded or bolted back on. We'll get the O2 sensor in there, and then we'll start installing the gauge. Well, we got the downpipe installed, up pipe, whatever you want to call it, exhaust. We're going to go ahead and unscrew this out of there. And we got the O2 sensor right here from the Innovative. So I've got some foil on the end of it here just to keep it protected. And we're going to screw it in the exhaust here. You guys, when you're putting these in, make sure you put some anti-seize on the threads. You guys know from my previous videos, we live in anti-seize because those things will stick in there. So I'm going to go grab a wrench, get this snugged up, and then we'll get to running the wires and put the gauge in. We got the O2 snugged up, tightened up in there and anti-seized, and I've got the innovative wideband gauge here and all the wiring. We're going to go ahead and cut these tie wraps. First, we're going to figure out where we're going to put that gauge. Since all my 2 1/4 gauges or holes are full, I think they make an insert for this one where I can pop it in and then pop the gauge in the middle. I'll go online and look, and then my nitrous gauge is down there. So what I'm wondering is if maybe they make this piece to hold 2 more gauges down here, and I'll move the nitrous and the air fuel up into there. But we're going to go ahead and pop the hood. We'll take a look at the wiring and see how we're going to wire this thing up. All right, so as you guys can see, the wiring's really clean under the hood. There are some spare spots here, so it looks like the wiring's going to be a piece of cake on this thing. I just have to run the wideband cable all the way back to the O2. So I'm going to go ahead and get those tie wraps cut, stretch it out, and make sure that it's long enough. We'll be right back. So guys, I got the cable ran. Unfortunately, it's too short. So I'm going to see if I can go online and order an innovative wideband cable that's longer so I can get that gauge up here. And then I think this car is going to need a little bit of a wiring treatment. Everything in here looks okay, but it's a little messy for my standards. All this stuff needs to be cleaned up. Probably going to get rid of this 6AL and go to a digital 7, just because it's got a rev limiter and a 2-step and stuff built in it, and change a couple things on this car. But other than that, that's it for now. We're going to jump online and see if we can't order a longer cable so we can get the gauge mounted where we want it. All right, well, here's the dilemma. I found the cable in 8 foot, 3 foot, or 18 feet. 18 feet's going to be a little bit much for what I'm going to do, but it'll give me the length I need. And it's $62, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and buy it now, and we'll get that cable in and get it installed in the car. It'll be here Tuesday. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, the Chevelle transmission is still not done. I'm going to call them tomorrow and find out what's going on so I can get this thing put back together. We're kind of in a rush because we're having a little get-together this weekend. So we want to get these cars moved out of here and have some setup room. So some of you guys may know or not know, I haven't been able to have my own garage since I moved to Arizona. It's been over a year. It's been quite hectic not having my own space to work in, or what little garage I have up front. You know, it's hard to work in. I've been using my race week tools to work on cars. You guys may have seen this in the background, but check this out. So we poured a 30 by 30 pad, and tomorrow's the day, boys. Tomorrow is the day that I finally get my garage. So they're going to be here in the morning to start installing it. They said it'll take 2 days, 2 to 3 days. And this giant concrete pad will be my garage. We're going to do a big roll-up door on the front and an entry door over here in the side. So yeah, boys, a lot more content now that my my garage is going to be built. You know, normally in my garage I work out here on the daily, but you know, for the last year I've been going to San Lemo and to my buddy Barry's shop, which doesn't mean I still won't go over there. I'm obviously still working for Joe at Glamis Fab and helping it with some stuff at San Lemo as well. And I'll be over at Barry's too. But I can't wait to get my building put up, get my power put in, get my air compressor running, my tools over here. You know, I haven't had my big rollaway toolbox for over a year. It's just driving me insane not to have the tools I need to put stuff together. So boys, I'm really excited. I don't know if you can tell or not, but finally gonna get my garage after a year. It's been yeah, it's been a journey building this backyard. a word to the wise: if you ever buy a house and you decide to want to build something, buy one that's already done and just upgrade that, because having to do all this, it's a lot of work. But it's been a long year to get the pool dug and the concrete done and this concrete done. So all right guys, so next scene, we're gonna see the building showing up in the morning and the guy starting to put it up. So guys, as I was showing you last night before we stopped, I'm gonna stand back here and stay out of these guys' way, but check this out. These guys are freaking killing it. They've only been here like 2 hours already, and freaking thing's already standing. So they're gonna get this thing knocked out quick, and I'm gonna have my garage in a day or two. Freaking amazing. I love it. I'm really, really excited. Here's the color. Well guys, as you saw from the time lapse, there she is. There's my new garage. Finally, after a year living in Arizona, I'll finally have my own spot to do my own thing. So let's hop inside here and take a look at this bad unit here. Wow, I'm gonna open this roll-up door. It's already warm in here. So what we have here, guys, is a 30 by 30 metal building on this concrete pad, and what a difference it makes once the building's up. This pad doesn't look so weird, but anyways, it's 900 square feet, 30 by 30. I'll be able to put my lift in here. Hindsight, I kind of should have went with 2 roll-up doors in the front so I could put my lift to one side of the shop, but you know what? At this point, it is what it is, and it's built, so it's staying the way it is. It's way better than the garage I have now, which is basically nothing. So I've got room for my toolbox, workbenches, everything I need. The next thing we're going to be doing is epoxy in the floor. We're going to buy an epoxy kit, get this floor epoxied. Also, we're going to start doing the electrical. So luckily there's a guy in my Dune group, a couple guys who are certified electricians. So I got kind of a hookup with electricity. So they're going to come, we're going to stake out all the electrical and start getting it laid in. I'm going to be able to put my air compressor outside the shop in the back over there in this corner, and then we'll get it all plumbed for air as well. And you guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I am friggin' stoked to finally get my garage back. In the meantime, I can store a couple cars in here now that the garage is put together. We're gonna put the Chevelle in here, put my sand car in here, probably bring the Honda home and get it in here. But yeah, guys, I'm stoked. My garage is built. I can finally get to work and be at home. You know, working out here in the summertime, you get hot, you just go out the side door, jump in the pool, cool off, and come right back in and do what you got to do. So over the course of the next 6 months or so, we'll be dialing this thing in, hanging signs, you know, getting the lift installed. But I'm stoked to finally have my own spot right here at home. I do have a lot more work to do to the yard. We're going to be putting some quarter minus in and making a kind of an entry road, and then my concrete guys are going to come back and we're going to build a slope here, you know, a ramp, so I can get in and out of the shop. So there it is, boys. There's my 30 by 30 garage at my house finally. So like I said, I still got a bunch more room back here for storage. Eventually I'm going to put a lean-to up off the top here, like a carport, so I can put my toy hauler here underneath. I'll be able to plug in, and then if people come to visit, if they've got an RV or something, they can park back here and have power and stuff, and be a cool spot. So finally getting this place dialed in. It's been a year, and it's been a long time coming. A little bit later on today, I'll be working on the Chevelle. We've got our transmission back. Check it out, boys. You scroll down over here. 4L60E's back from the trans shop. They went through it. They didn't tell me why it was leaking. They just went ahead and tore it down and went completely through it. I didn't need any hard parts because all the hard parts in it were brand new. But I've got to get off to work today, and then when I get back, we're going to stuff this thing back in and get it running and put into the shop. Guys, while we're back, I've got the transmission already stuffed back up into the Chevelle, and I just can't stop looking over there, you know, here versus there. This will be the last time that I work on this car not in my garage and without a lift, which will be friggin' amazing. Would have made it way easier to get this transmission in if I had a lift. But anyhow, guys, we got the transmission stabbed in. We're going to finish up a couple little things underneath there, get the cross member and the drive shaft back in, get it filled with trans fluid, and get it finished up. We are going to be taking this car to the dyno next week. We're driving all the way out to California to race front wheel drive, my buddy Compton Rob's shop, and we're going to strap this thing down and see what it makes. All right, guys, well, we got the transmission in, everything hooked up, drive shaft back in. Everything was ready to go. I was about to pour trans fluid into it, and then I realized that I forgot. We don't have a serpentine belt yet. So I'm going to throw a string on here, measure this up, and convince the wife to run down to O'Reilly's with me and pick up a belt for this thing. All right, well, as you guys can see, we got everything moved. I got the Chevelle in the driveway for the first time since I've lived here. Got it hosed off. I'm going to go ahead and put some soap in a bucket, get this thing washed off, and we're going to take this thing for a little drive around the block, check the transmission fluid, and then get her put away in the back garage. Remember, guys, next week we're taking this thing back to California to get it strapped down on the dyno and get her all tuned up so I can drive this thing. I know the camera doesn't show the excitement, but you guys have no idea how excited I am to get this car back together and running. This car's my baby, and like I said before in last videos, I drive this thing almost every day. So we're gonna get to washing this thing and get her put away. Guys, I know this video is all over the place, and that's just kind of how we live sometimes, but it's been a couple days since I filmed anything. I'm back out here in my garage, and kill this fan so you guys can hear me. So let me turn the stereo off. We're back out here in the garage today, and we're getting Chevella ready for the dyno. And by that I mean she's done and ready. Did everything I needed to do, got the seats finally mounted in there right. Well, somewhat right. I have the other brackets to put buckets in a bench car, but I got to pull the carpet and all the Dynamat out and weld the brackets in. But in the meantime, they're all bolted down, and this thing's ready to go. Let's fire it up and check it out. I love the chop of that Texas speed cab. You guys can see we got the belt routing all good to go for the AC compressor. So shut it off. So this weekend we're going to be heading out to Race Front Wheel Drive in California. That's my boy Compton Rob's shop, and we're going to be strapping this thing down on his dyno jet. Hopefully we're in the 400-ish range. According to this motor and the cam specs, this thing should make over 500 or close to it. But Compton Rob's dynos, we call it the heartbreaker. So that thing's real stingy to give up power. But you know, we'll see how it does. In the meantime, we got a lot of work to do in the garage still. We got electrical to do, spray and insulation. Summer's already coming, so we need to get the AC units up on the walls here. And a lot of work to come in the garage, but I got my garage and it's built, and I was able to do some work. I got some work done on the Chevelle in here. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I know it's, like I said earlier, it's been all over the place, but you know, that's kind of how it is sometimes. You got multiple cars, multiple projects, and just life in general. So thanks again guys for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.